Kakadosh Boker Or Masechet Bava Metzia Daf Nun He Amud Aleph 55a1. We're just going to start on 54b, the last lines where it says Elmaleh Ravashi LeRavina. So Ravashi comes and he tells Ravina, Be'emat Mea Betchilat Ekdesh. He says what? Be'emat Mea is going to be at the beginning of the Ekdesh, and it's going to be Hechal Ekdesh only when a person is going to be Magdishota from the Chulim. He says, what about Be'emtza Ekdesh? What about if it's going to be Tofes from Ekdesh Rishon, and then you're going to redeem it, right? Because you have to redeem it obviously with something which is fitting to go on the Mizbeach or for the Berek HaBayit, Leta. What, if there's no such thing? Yeah, at the end of the day, even if it's going to be a Be'emat Mea, it's not going to be an Ekdesh Sheni, which is Sof Ekdesh. You still have the middle, which means you could redeem it in the middle and then take the other animal and you bring it on as a Korban. So Elmaleh says the fish shena be Sof Ekdesh. No, because there's no Sof Ekdesh. Okay. What does that mean? It's not fitting to go on the Mizbeach or the Berek HaBayit, so therefore it was excluded also in the middle as well. So even the guy in the middle that redeems it does not have to add a fifth. So Elmaleh Ravacha Medifte Ravina says Ravacha Medifte to Ravina, Be'emtza Ekdesh Mi'ayita. You do have it in the middle. So Lesof Nami Chomesh. So therefore you should also add a Chomesh, meaning if in the middle you could redeem it for a kosher animal and bring it to the Mizbeach, so add a fifth. So Elmaleh says, it's like the end of Ekdesh. Just like Sof Ekdesh, you don't add a fifth, so to the middle of Ekdesh, you don't add a fifth. So Elmaleh Rav Zutra be'erei de Rav Meri l'Ravina, my chazite de medam l'Sof Ekdesh. Why are you comparing it to Sof Ekdesh compared to B'tchilat Ekdesh? Right? At the beginning of Ekdesh. So he says, Elmaleh comes and he says, Mistabra l'Sof Ekdesh aved. It's much more logical to say that it's compared to Sof Ekdesh. Why? He says sheken nitpas, because it's going to attach on, right, it's going to attach on the kedusha from another kedusha, meaning the emtza ekdesh from the Sof Ekdesh, right? But B'tchilat Ekdesh, it was from chulin, meaning it's much more comparable that you're doing ekdesh to ekdesh, right, than anything else. Okay, fine. So he says, Adrabah, the opposite. You should compare it to Tchilat Ekdesh. Why? Afterwards, it has Kiddusha. So something that afterwards has Kiddusha. Meaning the Emtza still has Kiddusha. But the Tchila also has Kiddusha. So why am I comparing it to the end compared to the beginning to the middle? So answers the Gemara like Rava. It says in the Pasuk, right, Ubiyir Aleha. HaKohen etzim baboker, Parach aleha haolah. Yeah, you're hearing it? The Hayamid. Yeah? So he says, right, what does that mean? Olah rishona hachanami tme'ah is also tme'ah rishona. When it says ha'olah, it means the first one. So when it says ha'tme'ah, tme'ah rishona. Tumah rishona. Right, we're not talking about the second one right afterwards. The Tanakh said that Rabbi Yeshua Levi, that's also we learned in Brighton according to Rabbi Yeshua Levi. Parazo tachat para shel ekdesh. If a person says that this para is going to be instead of the para of ekdesh, or a talit zo is going to be instead of a talit shel ekdesh, hekdesho padui, it's going to be redeemed. Biyad ekdesh al elyona, biyad ekdesh is going to be on the top part. Parazu bechamesh slaim tachat para shel ekdesh, or talit zo bechamesh slaim tachat talit shel ekdesh, hekdesho padui, it's going to be redeemed. Al ekdesh rishon mosif chomesh, al ekdesh sheni mosif chomesh. Only on the first ekdesh you're going to add chomesh, and not on the ekdesh sheni. Okay, fine. Mishnah. Haonaa arba'a kesef. When we're talking about shiur of honaa, it's going to be 4 ma'ot kesef, which is 1/6. Ve'ata'ana, right? The tviyah, which you're going to come in and obligate a shavua. Shte kesef, meaning if I'm going to tell you owe me money and you only admit to part of it, in order to obligate you a shivua from odem mitzat, the minimum has to be shte kesef. Hoda'ah, when you're going to come, you're going to be modem mitzat, right, is also going to be shaveh pruta. Meaning if I'm going to obligate him into a shivua, is shte kesef. But the oda'ah, which is mitchayev al yedei shivua, modeh b'mitzat, is going to be shaveh pruta. Chamesh prutoten. There are 5 things which is going to be shaveh pruta. Hoda'ah, which is Oda b'mitzat. Haisha is going to get married with Shaveh Pruta. Hanene b'Shaveh Pruta min Ekdesh Ma'al. Mila is going to be in Shaveh Pruta. Hamotze Shaveh Pruta chayv lachriz. If you to return a lost object, has to be Shaveh Pruta. והגוזל את חברו שווה פרוטה ונשבע לו יוליכנו אחריו אפילו למדי. If you're going to steal even a Shaveh Pruta, you have to take it out to even in Iran. You have to go and take it back. Which one? Mila, that you're benefiting from coaching. It's like benefiting from Hekdesh property. So usually you have to bring a Korban Mila and you have to add a fifth to the principle that which you actually benefit. So says the Gemara. So those are 5 different Shaveh Prutas. Okay? Says the Gemara, Tanina Chadazina. We already learned this once. That Ona'ah is 1/6. Ona'ah Arba Kesef and Siva Arba Kesef Shlumikach. That's what you learned. You learned it's going to be 124th, which is 1/6, right? Of the Shtut, which is a 6. Answers the Gemara, Hatana Shte Kesef Odab Shaveh Prutas. He said, no, you need it for the Seifa. The first part of the Ona'ah, you're right, we learned it. But what about the ta'ana and hoda'ah? That I'm asking you to make a shavua, or you're going to be modeh mitzat, that you're going to make a shavua. What is it? That has to be, so that I had to actually bring down. Okay? Hanami Tanina says, we also learned this. We learned this in Shavuot. Shavuot ta'anina ta'ana shtekes avodah shaveh pruta. Answers the Gemara, you're right. We needed it for the Seifa. Seifa is sichale, which is chamesh prutot. And there are 5 things which are going to be shaveh pruta. So it means all this of the Mishnah was extra, superfluous, except for the ta'ana. Except for the 5 prutot, 5 shaveh prutas. Okay? Chamesh prutot and 2 dots. There are 5 different shaveh prutas. V'litninami haona pruta. What do we learn also about onah, that it's also a pruta? So Rav Kana says, we learn from here, she'en onah leprutot. There's no onah for prutot. The Levi Amar, but Levi comes and he argues, says, no, there is onah for prutot. Hechal Metzit, 5 prutot, and onah pruta. Voda'a, kiddushay isha, gezel bepruta, yeshivat adayim pruta. So he comes and he says, so therefore it comes out that he does mention onah prutot. So he says, Letana dida, my tamaloktan yeshivat adayinim. Why didn't we learn yeshivat adayinim? Tanale gezel, because we learned gezel. And the gezel, already we learned, right, about the dayanim, that they're going to sit down about that. So says the Gemara, Milo tani gezel v'tani aveda. He says, we have gezel, we have aveda. Gezel is not like steals from somebody shaveh pruta, and avida is a shavat avida, not pruta. So answers the Gemara, Hana chetzichale, he needed it. Gezel gozel v'chavero pruta v'nishma lo yulchenu acharav yafilu madai. You have to give it back to him even if it's going to be in madai. And avida is if you're going to find the lost object, which is going to be shaveh pruta, you're obligated to mention it. Ve'afa gav dizal, even though it became less than a shaveh pruta afterwards. Okay. So why doesn't Levi teach shavat aveda by a pruta? So he says Tanele gezel. You already learned gezel. So milo tani gezel and tani yeshivat adaynim. So answers the Gemara, yeshivat adaynim is a chidush le'apulka mid Rav Katina. Daman Katina bedin nizkakin afilu pachom shaveh pruta. According to Shitat Rav Katina, bedin will sit down even if it's not shaveh pruta. Meaning, according to the rabbis, it's so different, right? The laws of the judiciary system of the Jews and about the secular, about the outside world, the general world. Why? For us, it's the same bedin that will sit down for a case of $1 million and of $10 or $5. Salam shos. It has to be shaveh pruta, obviously, but it's the same thing, right? But for them, no. So then it has to go to a higher court. So it's the same thing. For us, it's the same thing. Shaveh pruta, shaveh pruta. No, according to Rav Katina, it's less than shaveh pruta, and it's still going to. They're going to have to go do a bedin for it. Levi, my tama loktani ekdesh. Why didn't he learn ekdesh? Bechulin kamayri, because we're talking about chulin. The kodshim lo kamayri. We're not talking about kodshim. Elatana didan mayri kodshim, but our tana that's talking about kodshim nitni maaser bepruta. What about maaser also? So answers the Gemara, kegon damar en bechumsho pruta. He says no, there's no in the chomesh. It's not shaveh pruta. So therefore, in order that the chomesh has to be shaveh pruta, we need that the maaser has to be at least 4 prutot in order that it has a pidyon. So says the Gemara, fine, velitni chomesh maaser bepruta. So answers the Gemara, we're only talking about the keren, we're not talking about chomesh, the principle, not talking about the extra fifth. The guf amrav katina bedin and right bedin is kakina filu pachom mishaveh pruta. So again, according to shitat Rav Katina, bedin are going to conjourn even adjourn, even for less than Shaveh Pruta. So Mati, Rava asked the following question: if somebody is going to come now do Milah, which means that he's going to be Chata Min HaKodesh, Nunhei Amud Bet 55b. Lerabot Pachom Shaveh Pruta Lishavon is going to include giving back, even if it's going to be less than Shaveh Pruta. So answers Gemara lekodeshin lehediot lo. It says no, only for kodesh you have to give it back, even if it's not going to be Shaveh Pruta, but not for hediot. A regular person, no, only if it's Shaveh Pruta. Elayitmar hachitmar, but this is what it means to say. Amar Rav Katina says, Im yuzkuku bedin l'shaveh pruta. If right now they're going to be required for shaveh pruta, gomenin afilu pachot b'shaveh pruta. So then they're going to do it even on less than shaveh pruta. Tchilat adin ma'inem pruta, gemar din lever. Meaning at the beginning, it has to be shaveh pruta. But even though at the end it's not going to be shaveh pruta anymore, it doesn't matter. As long as the beginning of the court case it was shaveh pruta, even if afterwards whatever went down in value or whatever, doesn't matter. It's still going to be shaveh pruta. Okay. Clear until here? Yeah? Very good. Mishnah. Nunhei Amud Bet 55b Mishnah. Says the Mishnah, Hamisha Humchinhen. There are 5/5. Okay, 5 homesh. Number 1, Ve'eluhen. Aochel Truma or Trumat Maaser. If somebody is going to eat Truma Gdola or Trumat Maaser Beshogeg, so he has to or Trumat Maaser Shel Demai or Chala. Bikurim, all of these cases. So remember, Truma Gdola goes to the Kohen. Trumat Maaser goes to the Kohen, but it was the Truma that the Lewi got, which was Maaser Rishon, that he took off Truma Maaser Min Maaser, he gave it to the Kohen. Right? Next was Maaser of Demai, or Chala. Chala goes again to the Kohen. Bikurim, all these things go to the Kohen. Mosif Chomesh, you have to add a Chomesh. Number 2, Hapodeh Neter Revai Maaser Sheni Shelo, Mosif Chomesh. If you're going to redeem Neter Revai, what's Neter Revai? Nice try.
It's the 4th year.
Very good. The first 3 years is Orla. The 4th year is called Netarevai. It's still Kodesh. So that 4th year, you have to redeem the fruits. So if you're going to redeem Netarevai or Maaser Sheni, which again, Maaser Sheni, doctor, which years? 1, 2, 4, 5. Thank you, doctor. Yeah, so Maaser Sheni, right? Mosif Chomesh. You have to add a Chomesh. Yeah, next. Hapodeh Ekdesho, Mosif Chomesh. If you're going to redeem Ekdesh, you add a Chomesh. Yeah, number 4. Anene mi Shaveh Pruta Ekdesh. If you benefited from Ekdesh less than, Shaveh Pruta, you're going to have the Chomesh. Yeah, number 5, a Gozel Chavero Shaveh Pruta. If you steal a Shaveh Pruta, Benishbalo, and you swear to him, Mosif Chomesh. 5 cases of Chomesh. The first case was actually a few of them, but it's all the same category. That's why I'm saying it's like 5 categories. Okay, until here we're clear? Gemara. Okay. Amar Rava. Rava comes and he says, Kashi elele Rabbi Elazar. It's a question to Rabbi Elazar. Trumat maaser shel demai. Trumat maaser of demai. Right? Why? That you're going to be chayav the chomesh. Says, I don't understand. They did it like divrei Torah. What's going on? Yeah? What's going on exactly? So the Tanyas we learned in the Braita. If you're going to bring a get from Dinat Yam, so you brought a get and you did not say Yotzi, she has to leave the second husband. The child is a mamzer. These are the words of Rabbi Meir. Hachamim omnim erev lamamzer. Kesed Yaseh, what do? Take the get back from her. Give it back to her in front of 2 edim. Yomarla, and then just say so according to Rabbi Meir, because he didn't say Yotziv Avla Mamzer, why? That's only din Rabbanan. Midoraita, the get is kasher. So answers the Gemara in yes. Rabbi Meir goes according to his reasoning. Dabar Nuna Ishve Deula Sar Nuna Meula. Omer ya Rabbi Meir used to say, anytime you change anything in Gitin, you go out and the child's a mamzer. That's Shitat Rabbi Meir. You change the format, you change the protocols, Yotziv Avlan Mamzer. Child's a mamzer. That's Shitat Rabbi Meir. Okay? Fine. So ask the Gemara, Mati Rav Sheshat. Rav Sheshat comes and he asks the following question. Mechalelin oto kesef al kesef, nechoshet al nechoshet, kesef nechoshet al perot. Says here, the Mishnah Demai says that you're allowed to come and you're allowed to be mechalel a matbea that they went and they redeemed it Maseh Sheni and Demai with the matbea of kesef, with another one. So kesef al nechoshet, right? Kesef al kesef, nechoshet al nechoshet, nechoshet al perot. Right, even outside. V'yachzor v'yifteh, and then again you're going to do it et perot. These are the words that Rabbi Meir. Chachamim omrim, chachamim come and they say, they only argue on the last one. Ya'alu perot v'yachilu b'Yerushalayim. You have to bring up the perot to Yerushalayim. Right, but the chachamim do not say they have to do it again. The chilul perot. So says the Gemara. So one more time, you could do kesef al kesef, nechoshet al kesef, sorry, kesef al nechoshet and nechoshet al perot. Okay? And then the rabbis argue. You have to bring it up. So, mi mechalelin kesef nechoshet? Can you do kesef al nechoshet? Vatram, we learned in the Mishnah, sela shel maaseh sheni v'shel chulin nitarvu. If you have a sela of maaseh sheni and a sela of chulin, meaning regular money, that they got mixed up, mevi sela b'maot, just bring the shovi of a sela of maot nechoshet. Ve'omen, we say, kol makom sheshna sela shel maaseh sheni v'chulin maot ha'alalu. Just redeem it on this. Take the better one of the two, and then you just redeem it, and then that's it. So therefore, it comes out that there's no kiddushat maaseh sheni only on the better selah, and none on the selah sheni, and not on the money of the nechoshet, right? They said that you're going to actually come and only redeem it midochak, not always. Lo sheikayem, not that you should always do that. That you could always just come and you could redeem it. And we'll continue with that tomorrow.